Well, long story short, we ran into a small issue. Clairvy can't go into the sunlight. Everything was fine at first. She followed me up to the surface just like I told her. But as I led her out of the shadows and into the sunlight, she vanished. I turned around and there she was, standing at the edge of the shadows, silently watching me.
Huh. Maybe she's afraid of sunlight, or... No, it wouldn't be her wish if that were the case. Well, we could always try pushing her into it. Oh, true.
I've pretty much tried it all already. Nothing worked. Eventually, the sun went down, so all I could do was bring her back here. How did it go with you, Lynette?
Good. I've got the list. It's right here.
Really? Well, what are we waiting for? Let's take a look! Oh, that's a lot of pages. Oh, it's gonna take forever to get through it all.
We can each take a section. Here.
La Pouillade, l'endroit, Chambel, horaire. Oh, yikes. That horaire guy has a huge scar on his face. He's kinda giving Paimon the creeps.
Ah, I've met him before. The scar is from an injury he received during a mission. I still remember him joking with me about it. He said any future lover would take one look at him and then lose all interest.
Did he say anything else?
Well, I asked if there was someone he was interested in. He said no, and that's where our conversation ended. It was only later that I learned he really did have someone he liked. He risked everything to escape so he could be with her, but it didn't work. One day, Father asked to see him, and, well, I never saw him again after that.
Wait, so that means the knave, she...
It may seem cruel, but it's just one of the rules of the house. Betrayal is not to be taken lightly. We know too many secrets to come and go as we please. So, if you do try to leave, you pay with your life. Her name's not here, huh? Well, that's not... Let's shift our attention then. Fremine, were you able to find anything out? Fremine...
I managed to talk to quite a few people, but I couldn't help but notice that the atmosphere in the house was a little... strange.
Strange?
Yeah, I mean, I know there have been arguments in the past, times when people haven't gotten along. Chaplot and Filiol are a good example of that.
Oh, those are two of the people that we met while delivering supplies.
That's to be expected, actually. Father brought us all here, shared her knowledge with us, taught us how to fight. That's one thing we all share. But that's also where the similarities end. Not all of us feel the same desire to stay here. As members of the House of the Hearth, we're also considered part of the Fatui. And to a lot of people, that's an identity they never asked for. Certain members get older and realize they want something else for themselves. But considering the rules of the house, most people would never say that out loud. People like Chaplot and Foltz are loyal to Father and her vision. They're proud to be part of the Fatui. Filial and Nantoy, on the other hand, well, they aren't quite as enthusiastic.
These kinds of conflicts have always been there.
Well, that's true. I can't say...
You think she's been inciting them to act out?
No, not exactly. But I wouldn't be surprised if she said something to them about... She's told me about it before. Experiments being run on children. People being used as pawns on the battlefield without so much as the strength to survive.
And they just believed all that? Without any evidence?
Clairvy's words probably gave them the excuse they were looking for. Whether they act...
This is all because of Project Stuja, isn't it?
Whoa. Hold on a second. What's this Project
Sorry, but I'm not sure of the... I only know what Father has told us, which is that it's something the Rooster and Regrator have been working on together. Apparently, it has to do with the Fatui's strategic plan for the future. Because the House of the Hearth was so successful in obtaining the Gnosis, we now have the honor of playing a key role in Project Stuja.
Wait, but isn't that a good thing?
Key role is just another way of saying dangerous role. To us, the whole thing is an inconvenience. Father thinks so too, but she's in no position to refuse. Their plan isn't exactly unreasonable, and they've been funneling the house a lot of funding. It's just that we'll lose a lot of members in the process. Participating in the plan, it's an honor in name only. What they're really trying to do is subdue us. The existence of an intelligence organization outside their control makes them feel uneasy.
Super...
External pressure has a way of exacerbating internal strife. You can't overlook the... I thought resolving the Clairvy situation would make everything go back to... But it looks like things are more...
We can only focus on one situation at a time, brother.
You're right. Well, it's getting late. Lynette, you stick with me this time. Fremine, keep a close eye on Filial and the others. Good work today, everyone. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Looking forward to an early night, but she can't sleep at all. Hey, you don't think the Knave will be too angry with Linny and everyone if she finds out about all this, do you? She's even scary when she smiles. If she were to actually get angry... you have to protect Paimon if that happens, okay, Traveler? Oh, well, in that case, we should just plan on running away. We'll grab Linny and the others and we can make a break for it as fast as we can. Look! Look over there! Quick! Let's catch up with her before anyone sees! Where is she going? Oh, if someone sees her, we're toast! Oh, look! She stopped! Clairvy! Shh. I opened the window while no one was looking. Look how pretty the outside is. If only I could have more than this. You probably think I'm being silly, huh? All this hopeless resisting. It's better to dream of what I could have than try to make it a reality, right? Please, help us get on the same page here. Sure. Although, everyone in this family is not as long as you're saying... It's just... That doesn't... I knew you. Everyone thinks she's a good Mother? But she doesn't deserve that title. She's disgraced it. If only Perry were here, she'd understand. Perry. There's that name again. Also, Paimon, it almost feels like she's not really here with us. Paimon can't tell if she's actually talking to us. Well, in any case, it seems like she looks so young. Ooh, look at the moon. Isn't it pretty? Hey, wanna hear a secret? Perry and I promised each other, but I can't find her. I'm worried she's also been... No, that wouldn't happen to her. She's special. We should really go talk to Mother. But we just fought. She doesn't want to see. What should I do? I'm on... Well, let's head back. We've got to...
All right, looks like we're all here. Let's go ahead with the plan.
Oh? What is it?
What makes you ask that?
Well, we kinda ran into Clairvy last night, and that's what she told us. We met the doctor back in Sumeru. He's super dangerous, and he's done all sorts of bad things.
It's possible that Father and the Doctor have had certain dealings, but I don't think Father would work with him. We're not really on the same side, so there's not a lot of trust between them. That doesn't exactly set the stage for a successful partnership. I did hear, though, that when Father first became a Harbinger, the Doctor offered to work with the House of the Hearth. Father rejected most of his proposals, except for one. It had to do with some sort of secret experiment.
Secret experiment? Could...
I don't think so.
I don't know any details about the experiment. The details of the... I know you don't agree...
Alright, that's good to hear. Clairvy seems... It's just that... It doesn't seem like Clairvy is lying either. The easiest thing to do would be just ask the knave directly, but...
Father didn't come back last night. She's Lynette, you're with me. Fremine? All right.
Ah, it's you two again. I must say, perhaps if you had So what are you planning to do now? Although I must profess to being curious.
Us? Distract!
Looks like you could have used some extra time to think. Don't worry. I'll be sure to steer...
The ocean breeze is sure.
Children always think they can hide things from the grown-ups. But nothing gets past me. Least of all a little scheming. I think I'll let them have at it for a little long. Well, I'll leave you to think things over. If you're so inclined, meet me outside the Palais Mermonia. Good things come to children who do as they're told.
What should we do? She clearly knows about everything we've been doing and... Oh, good idea. Well, we should probably head to the Palais Mermonia. Paimon doesn't want to... Okay, then we
Seeing as we still have some time before my meeting, I'm glad to see you get along with my children.
You're not
I assume you're referring to Lenny Lynette, although there's that situation with Filial and Nent. No matter. I'm not one to discriminate. All those who
Does that mean you're going to kill them?
Oh, are you here to beg for their lives? I'm sorry to disappoint, but the rules of the house change for
But don't you...
Any organization in which feelings come before principles is one destined for ruin. The house... Perhaps I can offer you this consolation at least. As our guests, you two will not... I would imagine Linny, Lynette, and Fremine will... As for Filial, Nantoy, and the others, I'm afraid there's little I can do. They can try to escape, but once you... Ah, you seem concerned. If Linny and the others manage to dispose of Clairvy in the meantime, all evidence of their wrongdoing will be lost. In that case, I could... If their efforts are unsuccessful, on the other hand, all... Of course. Oh, and here... It takes a considerable amount of time to train a bird like this. It would be such a pity if you were to lose it. Permanently.
Wait, where did you get that?
Well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have to chat. I asked you to meet me here because, well, time to go. It's been a while, Monsieur Neuvillette, I must say.
It is only right that an esteemed diplomat... Although, if I may... I see you've brought the Traveler and Paimon with you as well.
I'll be departing Fontaine. It requires a rather lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. So I took the liberty of explaining everything in this proposal.
I understand your request. However...
I heard you have a certain fondness for water tasting, Monsieur Neuvillette. A family is like a large body. As someone who watches over this system, I would hope that, of course, objectively speaking, I know this is impossible. Most of the rivers will dry. Not all rivers are destined to reach the...
Did you?
Your words paint an optimistic picture indeed. Allow me to remind you, however, few...
It may have been tainted at one point in time, but not to worry.
I seem to recall there being a transactional...
If you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I will gradually withdraw my forces from Fontaine. And, unless absolutely necessary, I will no longer...
I presume I can take your words to...
Tartu, of course, if you...
You choose your words...
My thanks for your generosity. Well, with that settled, we should be going now. I took the liberty of bringing along 2 bottles of spring water.
Indeed. I trust...
All right, Traveler Paimon.
So, what exactly were you talking about back? Paimon only heard you mention some rivers, a large...
You really want to know? I would imagine there might be more pressing concerns at the moment.
Lenny, Paimon really hopes everything's go... Oh, Paimon recognizes that look. You've got your thinking cap on, don't you, Traveler?
Oh, shoot. Are you alright? Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. I was so focused on selling these papers. Well, let me make it up.
Oh, you don't have to give it...
Please. It's my fault.
What's going on here?
Nothing much. I just ran into your friend.
Hold on.
Of course, I'm happy to compensate you with Mora, it's just...
I'll take 3 papers.
Oh! Thank you for... If only I had the chance to run into such generous customers every day. I should probably...
Well, now that my affairs are settled, we should take the boat back to Poisson.
Actually, why don't... Paimon just realized how hungry she is. She can't head back to Poisson.
It appears you two are under the impression that delaying our return will somehow alter the situation. That being said, I could be persuaded to give Linny some extra time. If you agree to my request, I'll even answer some of your questions. You're quite curious about Clairvy, are you?
Wait, why are you...
You overestimate yourself. You don't have the talent for bad things.
Then what...
The most important consideration in a negotiation is that both sides receive something wonderful. When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation.
Okay, sounds...
That is for you to decide. Then we have a deal. Follow me.
What is this place?
Somewhere long forgotten by no one comes here anymore. Nor does anyone care about what once happened. It was before I became a harbinger. And before Linny and the others joined the House of the Hearth. Due to certain events, I first killed Clairvy and then her mother. And this is where it all happened.
You were the one that killed Clairvy?
Patience now. Allow me to explain Clairvy's side of the story first. I'll start from... Clairvy was 6 years old when she was brought by her mother, Crucibina, to live in the House of the Hearth. From the outside, it seemed like a fairy tale. Crucibina was the knave at that time, and the House of the Hearth was under her control. She was Clairvy's mother by blood, but she was also the mother to... Clairvy was happy here. For a time.
Purgatory?
Exactly. The House of the Hearth takes in war orphans from all over Tevat. But as for how to raise them... That depends entirely on the person in charge. Crucibina came up with a novel idea. She would teach the children to fight, force them to duel each other, and then crown as the king of the house the child who proved themselves most worthy of inheritance. It's difficult to estimate the number of children who died or were maimed in the process. There's little I can say about the ones who died. The ones that emerged with permanent injuries, on the other hand, well, they still served a purpose. They would be handed over to the doctor to be experimented on, or sent away on dangerous missions. Nothing more than tools to be used and then discarded.
So those were the experiments Clairvy was talking about. But what actually happened to her? You said that Clairvy was Crucibina's daughter, so if Clairvy tried to convince her to stop what she was doing, Crucibina probably would have listened, right?
Despite being Clairvy's mother, Crucibina cared little for her daughter. She forced Clairvy to join the House of the Hearth only as a means to demonstrate her own impartiality. Clairvy did try to convince her mother to change her ways, but it was to no avail. After her efforts failed, the only other... Of course, there was one exception. Someone Clairvy's age, who knew the truth about the House of the Hearth. Her name was Peruere.
Wait, the friend that Clairvy meant?
Friend, huh? I suppose we can call her that for now. Clairvy was a cheerful and passionate person with a tenacious spirit. Her cold-blooded nature allowed her to see through Crucibina's facade. Yet, it was also this cold-bloodedness that prevented her from acting against it. At least at first. Despite their differences, the two became fast friends, united by their knowledge of the truth. Clairvy told Peruere that she hoped to create a real... There may have been a certain naivete to her ideas, but even with her body racked with pain, she would still stand on her tiptoes and open the window and...
Oh no.
Her hopelessness resulted from a culmination of things. 10 years had passed. 10 years worth of failure after failure. She and Peruere weren't children anymore, but finding any chance to escape still seemed as hopeless as... It was during this time that Peruere suggested a new plan. Clairvy rejected that proposal. She claimed that, as a famous harbinger, Clairvy never gave another reason, but Peruere could see it written all over her face. If she couldn't escape and fight back, precisely. Death. It happened during a duel. When she arrived at the dueling ring that day, her partner turned out to be none other than Peruere. The very person that had stood by her side all those years. It was a fierce battle. But ultimately, Clairvy decided to let Peruere end her life. From that moment on, Peruere's journey was one written in... It was the very result she had predicted 10 years prior. Even then, she believed she would make it until the end. She was unsettled. And there was only one thing that could quell that sensation.
Crucibina, you mean? But...
Correct. This is the place where Peruere killed her best friend. A mere year later, this is also the place where she fought tooth and nail to kill the mother they shared. The moment she acted, any conception of what was right or wrong ceased. Peruere won the battle, and became a harbinger herself. After which Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, bestowed upon her a new name. Arlecchino.
So the Perry Clairvy was talking about... It was you all along. You're Peruere. Arlecchino is just a name you got later.
I left that name behind long ago. I must say, hearing it now does bring back memories. After I defeated Crucibina, the moniker of Mother died with her. I chose to forego the title she called herself, and even chose to give up my own name. I rebuilt the House of the Hearth under a new identity. Not only as Arlecchino, and that is where the story ends.
Yeah. Based on what you just told us, Clairvy was.
I suppose you could call her an illusion born of flame. You see, a certain power runs through my veins. It's not, of course. The chances of those shadows morphing into a sentient entity are exceedingly slim. Clairvy died when she was 16 years old. But what emerged from the flames was her 6-year-old self. Her appearance wasn't the only thing affected. Most memory is a...
No wonder Paimon got such a weird feeling.
Perhaps I should put it this way. Clairvy is someone trapped in time.
So if all of that is true, then you...
Indeed. She's a rather volatile and unstable, but other times she would hide. Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Your attempts to expose Clairvy to sunlight. They failed, yes? The reason is actually quite simple. But no matter. All I have to do is kill her again, and all will be resolved. I don't anticipate so much as a single speck of ash will be left behind this time.
Wait! Paimon can understand why you might want her. So what if she's trapped in her 6-year-old self? She's still your friend!
It's too late for that. She broke the rules, and now she must be punished. I hope you understand. The difference between Crucibina and myself lies in our formulation of the rules, not our policy for enforcing them. Upholding the rules without question is a trait we both...
Is this really what you want to do?
Whatever could you mean?
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Whether as a killer or as a father, there are two things that must be avoided at all costs. Anger makes you impulsive. Well, it appears it's about time. I do believe I've kept my end of the deal. I gave your friend...
Here they are, Father.
Oh, you gonna execute him? Seeing something like that would actually... Lenny!
I'm sorry, but I still failed. I couldn't find a way to fulfill her wish.
Huh? Are you... Perry?
Indeed, it's been a while, Clairvy.
Perry!
Shh. Stay right there. I'm sorry to postpone our reunion, but first I believe certain scores need settling.
Father, let me
Out of my way.
Father!
You chose to conceal a threat to the house. And for that, you must be punished. Overall, however, I suppose your wrongdoing by traitor...
Father, let me explain. We didn't mean to...
Fultz.
Yes, Father. Secret Midnight Meeting number 3. Participant Nantoy clearly said, if only Father... Sato added, I'm sick of... Filial was the worst of them all. She called...
I did not! You're...
It's not like I'm the only one who heard those things. After... We're birds locked in a cage!
You little... You just want me gone, don't you? What did I ever do to you, huh? And you, Sheplo, have you forgotten who stood by your sickbed? Watched...
You're wrong, Filial. We don't want you to die.
Liar. You wouldn't be...
We all live in the House of the Hearth. A single betrayal can cost dozens. That's why the House of the Hearth cannot tolerate any...
You've been spying on us?
Filial, I owe you both my life. If this were any other...
Why?
That's enough, Filial. I'm sorry, Sheplo. Fultz. We...
Sheplo, according to the rules of the House of the Hearth, how...
All those who betray the house...
And so it shall be.
Father, please wait!
Something you want to say, Linny?
Please reconsider, Father. What Filial and we all come from broken, but the truth is, none of us know what a real home should look like. I'm not saying I have all the answers. So please, Father.
I agree with Linny.
Father, please.
Linny, you... I also agree with Linny.
An order once given cannot be rescinded. However, given the extent of your determination, I suppose we shall have to go about this a different way. Draw your weapons and face me.
Our weapons?
Father, are you referring to a duel?
Precisely. The rules of the house will not, however. Resolving disputes with a duel is also one of our rules, one that also applies to me. Demonstrate a sufficient
Impossible. Did you hear that, Traveler? Lenny and the others have to duel the knave. What should we do? If they lose, those people from the house are really gonna...
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes you to waver.
Oh. Looking at that expression on her face, she seems really serious about this.
When guests are around, families are often on their best behavior.
When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help to the help.
What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, where are you going?
Traveler?
You're asking to join the duel against the knave?
I'll allow it. We do have a ready-made dueling ring at our disposal, after all. All I would advise is this. Keep a firm grasp on your weapon, and give it your all. Any less, and you may just lose your life.
Time to shine!
My turn.
Swear by my sword!
Everlasting and voila! My turn now. With the fall of darkness, destruction shall rise. Have a taste of purgatory.
Gather! This is order!
Over here!
Hell tipsy.
Look out!
With these rising flames.
Let my name echo in song!
Is it my turn now?
Wind, hear me!
This is where you fall.
Now's our chance!
You've proven to be a worthy opponent.
Solidify!
My blade is all that remains!
Watch out for Father's movements! Scout!
Transfixed! You should know better than to crowd in one place.
Oh, I know.
No! I'm sorry, Father!
Sorry for what? This pitiful excuse for an attack.
Father, no!
Made it out, did you? You're stronger than I expected.
A crimson moon. I can't move.
Still, not strong enough to beat me. I believe we can end things here. It's not often that we get to enjoy the company of guests, after all. We wouldn't want things to get too out of hand.
Brother, are you all right?
Lenny.
Given that I am the victor of this duel, as agreed, the punishment stands.
No!
I never thought things would...
However, everyone involved in the duel demonstrated a remarkable level of strength and determination. In light of this, I'm prepared. Elwar, the bottled flames I gave you for safekeeping. Do you still have them?
Yes? I wasn't sure what they were for.
Wonderful. Then,
Bottled
indeed, they're the product of a secret experiment. Once ingested, searing pain will spread across every inch of your body. No harm will come to you physically, but your memories will be burned away. If you can withstand the pain. When you awake, you'll have forgotten everything you know about the House of the Hearth, and will be expelled from the organization. In other words, administering this concoction will kill the version of you that grew up in the house, and give you a new identity. Memory is a mysterious...
So, you're just letting us go, Father?
You misunderstand. Memories are extremely important. Once consumed by flame, the version of you standing before me will die, and our secrets will die with you.
Even so... I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry I let you down. But I really...
Don't cry. You haven't left the house yet, so there are still rules to be followed, yes? Remember what I taught you. Anger makes you impulsive, sorrow causes you to waver. Don't let yourself be.
Of course.
Dry your tears and go pursue the light.
Yes, Father.
Chaplot, Fultz, Elwar. I prepared 3 extra vials of bottled flames. As for whether to take them, goodbye, children. The next time we meet, I will no longer be your father. Thank you for all you've done for the house.
Father.
Let's go.
Here, grab my arm, Linny. I'll help you walk.
Thank you.
Clairvy.
Can we talk now? I've been waiting for a super long time. You really are Perry, aren't you? Wait, did I
Neither. You died, Clairvy. That's what happened.
You could have at least sugarcoated it a little! Look, she's done speechless! Oh. Okay then.
Huh? That's it?
Yep. If that's what Perry says happened. Plus, I don't really need to know why I'm like this. I'm more curious about what happens in the future. If you're a harbinger now, Perry, that means Mother is gone, isn't she? Can you tell me about it? I want to know what happened to her. And to me.
You never stopped trying to defy fate. At first, no one believed you. You could only vent your frustrations to the moon. In fact, you often sought comfort in the night sky. You wanted to see the aurora, so one night we promised each other we would go to Snezhnaya to see it together. Later on, but you called on everyone to... You tried everything you could think of, but every attempt ended in failure. Still, you never turned your sword on Crucibina, and you never turned it on me. On that gloomy day, you told me, for the last 16 years of my life, I've done everything I can to fight for freedom. But now, I realize that the only freedom I truly possess is the freedom to choose to die.
I never imagined I would say something like that. I must have been feeling really worn down. But somehow, I still think I understand. According to Mother's plan, only one of us was going to make it until if I could do it all over again, I still don't think I would make a different choice. Even when I first met you, I knew you'd be able to do what I couldn't.
Is that so? Even now, I'm not sure I truly understand what kind of freedom you were trying to pursue. But as the head of... It's something I discussed. Of course, I won't simply hand freedom to them on a silver platter. They have to...
That's more than enough. You know, Perry, I think I'm really happy that you're the one who took over the house. I guess I do have one regret, though. I still haven't seen the outside world.
Well, it just so happens that our dear guests over here have been to many nations and traveled to countless places.
Really?
Of course!
Those yokai you mentioned, what do they look like? I once saw a drawing of this one guy with horns on his head and a super scary face. Are there any yokai like that?
Oh, sounds like you're talking about an Oni. Yep, we've met one, and let Paimon tell you, they're not nearly as scary as they look.
You know, I'm playing the loop. Ah, that's where Mora... If I had some Mora, it's just too bad Perry doesn't like wearing dresses. And Mother, she... I was always too afraid to skip Mother's fighting lessons. But at the academia, I bet you could do all sorts of secret things in class. Things that have nothing to do with studying. I'm just kidding. Being able to study whatever you want without having to fear for your life actually sounds pretty great.
The situation was super dangerous. Lenny and Lynette were accused of committing a crime, and they were going to have to stand trial at the Opera Epicles.
Oh no, that must have been hard for all of you. What happened next?
Don't worry, we were able to turn the situation around.
How'd you do that? Come on, tell me.
Ahem. Okay.
Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Clairvy, you've worked tirelessly from the shadows to overthrow the House of the Hearth. Now, by my authority as the Knave, I shall announce how this matter ends. You are hereby expelled from the House of the Hearth. You are no longer tied to this place, nor are you bound by its rules.
You're saying that I can finally leave? I get to experience the outside world as well? Oh, I almost forgot. There's no getting older for me. Still, seeing who you grew up to be makes me really happy, Parallel. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
May we meet again someday.
Clairvy. She left so soon. Paimon didn't even get to finish her...
I also have certain sentiments left unsaid. I wanted to tell her that the aurora I saw in Snezhnaya was just as beautiful as the one, but a shadow's memories reset at dawn. Had we delayed any longer, we wouldn't have had the time to say goodbye. Whatever regrets may linger.
Father?
It's Linny! Hey, Linny! What is he doing back here? Let's go check it out.
Father, the bottled flames have been administered.
And you? What happened?
Thank you for giving us that. Lynette and Fremine feel the same way.
I'm sure you're well aware of the expectations I have for you. I want you to follow in my footsteps and become... I must admit, I'm rather surprised by your decision to stay. There's nothing...
I just... never...
You're brave, talented. You would do anything to protect them.
Speaking up back there was so brave of you, Linny. It's all—
You're a hero, Linny.
Hero? Father is the real hero. Had Father gone all out during the duel, there's no way I would have walked away with my life. I'm not deserving of that.
You're wrong. In my opinion, we may have different even without that.
Father.
No one knows if reaching a certain strength may decide the ultimate victor, but those who let a lack of strength dictate their decisions or undermine their convictions will never be worthy of the throne.
I understand, Father.
Children must grow up. The road ahead is not—
You've done so much for me, Father, and that kindness must be repaid. Protecting my family.
Then you're welcome to stay. Having members who longed for the light was our organization's last weakness. With those members no longer among our ranks, the House of the Hearth is like a spider hiding in the shadows. At present, our imperative is to use their plan to our advantage. In doing so, a crimson moon shall rise amid the frigid blizzards of winter. No demonstration of loyalty shall go unrewarded, and no sacrifice shall be in vain. As for the two of you, whether we meet again as friend or foe, no matter how arduous the journey ahead, I hope we both reach our desired destination.
Didn't Linny say that Lynette and Fremine were recovering at the hotel booth? Lynette? Fremine? How are you feeling?
Much better. What about you?
I knew you'd come out on... Oh, and Linny and the other members have left.
I see.
I'm glad Father came to check up.
Wait, what?
Crucibina died a year after Clairvy. Crucibina had an extremely cruel and radical way of doing things. When I joined, though, the experiment she valued so much had already come to an end. A couple of months after I joined, Father killed Crucibina and burned all her files. With that, the names of all the people subjected to her experiments.
Father took in Lenny and me a couple months after that, but she never mentioned anything about Crucibina or Clairvy.
Really? The last time you talked to her, did she mention why?
She said she didn't want us to be affected by the darkness of the past. She was worried we'd the foundation of a family, and that's what Father...
But I still thanked her. if Father hadn't taken over.
Father rarely brings up the fact that she saved us, but even we may have argued.
Whether the path, so I wanted to.
Oh, we didn't do anything real.
Of course.
Our
I actually saw them. They didn't recognize me. They seemed happy.